Coach, take us back through your season. What performances are you the most proud of?
I think each individual has kind of their own moment this year. Peak time is conference, so we're hoping this weekend ends up being that day. But, throughout the year, I think Stefan really stepped up. We knew coming into the year he was going to be coming in in the best shape he's ever been in. But week to week, he's been pounding the pavement, working really hard in the practices and what we've been doing with intervals and everything. And I think I would say his performance that he had at Eau Claire was just very impressive. Our men did very well there. They had an awesome meet across the board, all of them, from first to last on our team. But I think Stefan's really stepped up this year and assumed that role of a distance runner. And it's funny, he came in as a 200, 400 guy, and he'll be graduating and leaving here this December, as a true mid-distance guy who's got some pretty solid distance legs under him.
The championships are at a new location this year. What do you know about the course?
My assistant coach Brianna and I went up to see the Swain meet up in Duluth earlier this year, and weather was fantastic as always in Duluth, right? And so we were able to get over there. But when we got over there, clubhouse wasn't open, so we're like, okay, well, maybe we could just walk around a little bit. So we did. The course itself is pretty large, like the golf course. So we got to see some of it, and it seemed pretty flat with some rolling hills a little bit, not anything too scary. I would say probably similar to what Eau Claire's course was like. So I think our team, and that's kind of how we presented it to them a little bit, our team is pretty excited about that. What we're going to get temperature-wise, everybody's going to have to deal with. So I think that's something that, as long as mentally we're tough and ready to go, that could play in our favor. So.
What has your team been working on to specifically prepare for the conference championships this weekend?
I think the biggest thing we've been working on all season has been mental toughness. Distance running is so unique. A lot of coaches, there's percentages will vary, but a lot of people will say 90% or more of a distance runner's race is mental. You're out there for 5 miles for a men's race. You're out there for almost 4 miles for a women's race, and you're in your head the whole time. And so we've been really challenging them mentally throughout the season. Whether it's pushing them a little bit further than they think they should go or than they believe that they can go. I give them time intervals and things like that throughout the season, and sometimes I give them something that is too quick for them. And so when they do that, and they learn that failing a workout is okay, they're realizing they're pushing their bodies to the limit. So we've really been challenging them a lot this year. I think with a pretty young team overall, for both the men and women, that's definitely been something that they've all taken head on, and we've seen some great improvement from all of them this year too. So I think the mental toughness of it, and at conference it's no different. If anything, people are going to be going into that meeting saying, "Oh, this is it. This is the big race," and things like that. But we're going into it thinking, "Hey, it's another race. You've been mentally challenging yourself all year. This is another opportunity to get out there and just compete."
In the preseason outlook, you talked about the youth that your program has. How have you seen them develop this season?
Yeah, on our women's side, Julia came in, a young girl from Brazil. She's extremely passionate about running. Obviously, completely different weather climates. The training has been very different than what she's ever done in her running past as well. And so, for her, seeing her get comfortable with the team, get comfortable with the training, get comfortable with lifting, that's new for a lot of distance runners. She definitely seems like cross country here has become a big family for her, and I think Sienna and Chloe have both come in, and we've talked at the start of the year about how the expectations for them were pretty solid, and what we needed from them this year was a lot, and they've been up for that challenge all year. So I think they've very much developed. They've been ahead of pace when we talk about things for some things for meets and whatnot. The way that they've gotten after races, results that they've had at courses that have been difficult. So very great on the women's side. And then on the guys' side, we have had a lot of injuries plague us for the most part. We had one of our freshmen, Dylan, come in just with some knee problems and things. So he's really not been doing much this year, and so we've really kind of put him on kind of that red shirt role-ish where he's just kind of been getting to know the team and things. But as far as the individuals who've come in this year and really changed their training process as freshmen, it's a big leap to go from high school to college just as a student. So doing it as a student athlete, just getting them familiar with the process has been wonderful, I think, for them.
And then how will you measure success on Saturday?
Everybody, and it was interesting, I was talking about this with the team the other day, and I think success for every individual is very different. Every individual that comes into our program, my training philosophy is individualized training. So it comes down to if you're athlete A, B, or C, athlete A might be doing this workout at this pace or this many intervals of that pace, and athlete B might be doing a different amount of intervals at that pace. And so the volume and intensity changes for everybody, and I think through all that training and through their season and everything, a successful meet would be for them to get through that race knowing that they've put in that effort this year. And times are times, and so we talk about, well, everybody wants to PR at conference, but every course is different. So I really explained to the athletes thoroughly throughout the season that it's not about times. It's about the effort that you're given day in and day out, and your effort at conference is going to be the best effort you give because you're in the best shape you've been in all year. So as long as you're putting that effort out there, and when you're running by me and I'm seeing that your face is a little exhausted, I know that effort's there. And so I think a successful weekend would be if everybody crosses that line and they know that they've given that effort, and they're seeing their teammates that are coming in behind them giving that effort as they're crossing that line too.
Good luck Saturday.
Thank you much.